So welcome to the very first video in my brand new YouTube channel. I've been planning this for quite some time. It's one of those things that I've never quite got around to doing, and at the end of 2021 I gave my head a wobble and said, love, if you don't do this now, when are you going to do it? So here we are. I'm very excited, very excited about all the things and ideas that I've got planned for the next who knows how long. So hopefully you will enjoy them too, and there will be something for everyone. I cover quite a range of time periods in the 18th, 19th centuries, so there should be a little bit of something for everyone. So the thing that really prompted all of this to start was joining Foundation to Revealed. It's something that I'd wanted to do for a while, never quite got around to doing it, and then I joined. And one of the things that they do every year is a competition, and that's kind of what's prompted all of this, is the wish to participate in this competition. So that's going to be one of the big projects that I've got going on this year. I've got a number of things that I need to do for that, and there's going to be some side projects from later periods mixed in with those during sort of the quiet points, or points where progress is going to be very slow because the work that I'll be doing is quite time consuming and probably won't generate enough for a full-length video. And on one of my Pinterest rabbit hole expeditions, I found a jacket, this one. It's currently held in the North Dakota State University Historic Costume Collection. And you have no idea how many takes it took me to get that right and all out in one go. So yeah, 1890s walking jacket. Sadly, while the photos are amazing quality, they're very limited. There's only about 5 of them, and there are very little photographs. In fact, no photographs at all of the inside. There's no construction information, and the information about the garment itself that's on the website is very limited. It basically says it's a red wool jacket with a cream facing, it's fitted at the hips, and it's got machine embroidery. That's it. That's all it says. It's like 3 lines. So I've got pretty much carte blanche to do whatever I like to try and recreate this jacket. So my first trip was to the Truly Victorian website, and I found 2 patterns. This one and this one. So Truly Victorian TV 48 is a jacket. I'm going to be using all of the pieces from this jacket pattern, with the exception of the cuff. Don't need it. So I've traced off the size that I need, and I'm ready to cut that out. So the second pattern that I'll be using is this one, TV 460. I will be using just the collar and the front bodice for this pattern. So I've traced those off, and those 2 are ready to be cut out. My fabric, I have got some lovely dark green wool from Abraham Moon. I actually got this on eBay, so it was a lot cheaper than buying it directly from Abraham Moon. It's really nice coating weight wool, and it smells like wet dog when you press it, so I know it's good. And then the facing and the bodice part of this whole thing is in silk noil, don't know how you say that, from Minerva. If you go to my blog website, the link is down there somewhere. The list of all of the pattern pieces that I will be using and where to get fabrics from, where to buy patterns from, is all there. So confession time. I filmed all of my cutting out for my wool and my cotton interfacing. Transferred it all to my editing suite. Didn't realise that I couldn't delete it from my SD card because the editing software doesn't actually save anything. So I lost it. It's gone. Ooh. So the first steps that will be appearing in this are marking out the front of the jacket. By this point I'd already got the back, side back and sides and sleeves cut. It was just the front jacket that needed to be cut out. So that's where we start.
So I am just marking out the centre front for the front jacket. This is as it's shown on the pattern. I'm just marking my waist point. And then I moved my pattern before I realised that I hadn't finished tracing off the centre front. I've replaced it. I'm going to follow the original line because what I want to do is extend the lapel at the neck edge by around about an inch. So I'm just marking where I want to blend my new cut line into on the fabric. And I'm going to extend it by about an inch or so. You can see that the original jacket has a much wider lapel. So I'm going to extend it by about an inch. And then I'm going to use a French curve to create a nice smooth new line and blend it in. You can see that the original lapel line isn't straight because it has to obviously curve to go around a woman's chest. So I'm just going to fiddle about with the placement of my French curve, make sure I'm happy with where it ends up. And I think that's about that there. So I'm just going to draw that line in, blend it in. So it gives me a wider lapel edge than I would have had ordinarily. The original pattern has quite a slim lapel. So now I'm just marking my waist points. And once I've marked these in, what I'll do is baste those with pink thread so that they stand out, so that when I'm putting the darts in and stitching them on the outside, I'll be able to see that I've got my waistline all lined up the whole way around my body. As soon as you put the darts in, it starts to pull the waistline to where it should be, and you end up with your waist basting in one straight line around your waist. I'm just marking where I want my basting to end. And now I'm going to cut out my new lapel and centre front, and what I'll do is I'll use that as a template for doing the other side. So I'll end up with two pieces that are a mirror image of each other. Ta-da! Okay, so the footage that I'd managed to delete involved some of my hand sewing and cutting out all of my cotton interlining. So I've jumped straight to basting my darts. So the whole point of doing this is that when I come to machine stitch my darts, that the cotton and the wool fabric that's underneath it won't shift once it's under my sewing machine foot. It means that I'll catch both sets of fabric at the very top edge of my dart, and it just holds everything in place. And it's a much more accurate method, although more time consuming, for putting darts in multiple layers of fabric. So we have therapeutic hand sewing. So now I've got my darts in, I'm just going to quickly machine baste on Trusty Jack all of my other pattern pieces that I've cut out with some cotton interlining. Wool does have a habit of stretching slightly over time and with wear, so this cotton will act as a layer to stop it from distorting. When I'm machine basting, I tend to use the largest stitch that my machine will do, which is 5mm. It means that if I have to pull any of my basting out at a later date, then I'm not trying to work with tiny stitches. It's a nice loose tension. The stitches will come out really easily. So I've got all of my pattern pieces now basted at the waistline with pink thread. All of my pattern pieces have got cotton interlining basted on. So they're now ready to be assembled. So I've now got my backs assembled. Apologies, that was some other footage that I managed to delete. So I'm just clipping my corners. The original truly Victorian pattern has the pleats sitting with the short edge towards the centre back, but the original jacket that I'm recreating has the pleats sitting away from the centre back. So I've had to alter which corner gets clipped so that I can make them sit correctly. The original truly Victorian pattern also asks you to stitch the centre back seam all the way from the collar down to the hem, but the original jacket has a split, so I have left that split in place, and that's my centre back finished, and the side back and sides all attached, ready for being attached to fronts next week.
So I do hope that you enjoyed watching my first effort at a YouTube video. I am so sorry that I managed to lose some of my footage. I will do my very best to ensure that that doesn't happen again. Let's get this on it. I will be aiming to post once a month on YouTube with the footage that I've accumulated for the previous month. But in the meantime, I will be posting every Saturday on my blog. Links down there. And that will have more information like shopping lists and that sort of thing on it. So you'll be able to keep much more of an eye on my progress than just by the YouTube videos alone. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed it. And if you would like to subscribe, then by all means do so. Hit the bell icon thing, as everyone says, to get notified when I upload again. And see you next time. Thank you. Bye.